Hi, this is Bill. In this session, we're going to walk you through about incident management in ServiceNow. I have created this video specific for IT service management practitioners, architects who want to understand how incidents actually behave inside a live ServiceNow environment, and also for technical people like ServiceNow administrators and developers. By the end of this session, you will be able to explain how incidents work in ServiceNow, how people interact with the flow, and how CMDB and CSDM directly influence the incident management outcomes. And if you find this walkthrough useful, consider subscribing and joining as a member to further support my channel for more ServiceNow ITSM and platform deep dives. We'll cover the following topics, starting from understanding what incident management is, how the process works, what are the different personas involved, and we'll drill down to an actual use case, show you the demo, and we're going to finish up with the ServiceNow best practices and key takeaways. So what is incident management? Incident management handles unplanned interruptions to IT services. In simple terms, an incident exists when a service is unavailable, degraded, or at risk of disruption. The key objective of incident management is to be able to restore normal service as quickly as possible while minimizing the business impact. Every component in ServiceNow incident management exists to support this goal, like workflow states, SLAs, assignment rules, escalation mechanisms, and reporting metrics. The slide shows the core incident life cycle used in service. I have color-coded this cycle for better visibility as you can relate the process and the workflow into the entire incident life cycle. As you start creating an incident from a new form, two personas are involved from client or an end user and the service desk who basically created a ticket. Each state represents a change in responsibility, system behavior, and also measurement. For example, SLAs typically stop when the incident is created. This is one of the key features of both the incident management process and also service as a platform. In some common use cases, the SLA becomes on hold depending on the reason. It can be an awaiting user, it can be raised on a vendor, to name a few. And the closure finalizes the record for reporting and analytics purposes. So the incident management lifecycle exists to ensure incidents progress in a controlled and auditable aspect. So in every step of the way, the SLA rule set kicks in, people are being notified, and if necessary, the tick will be escalated depending on the criticality of the incident. As we go to the detail of the incident workflow, when an incident's been created, intake begins, and ownership is established, and the response timers basically start. And this is one of the key important feature as you measure your service and your team's performance in relevance to your service contract. Now, as we move to in progress, active investigation and resolution are underway. This is where most operational effort pours. While on hold, work is intentionally paused for a known reason, such as waiting for a user, a vendor, or a related change. Where resolve is a fix or a workaround has been applied, but confirmation is still pending. And finally closed, the service is confirmed as restored, and the incident becomes historical data. The workflow enforces discipline, so teams can move quickly without losing control. So incident management is not driven by process or workflow alone. It is people who drives it, people operating in defined roles supported by the platform. The end user is the source of the signal. The key responsibility is to report when a service is disrupted, describe the symptoms, and write down the business impact, and also to confirm as the final person when service has been restored. And ServiceNow basically works in the framework of the CMDB and CSDM perspective. If this is something new to you, I'd like you to watch my full series about CMDB and CSDM that you'll find at the end of the screen. So on the CMDB and CSDM perspective, The end user does not diagnose issues. They get to experience the service and validate those outcomes. The confirmation of the end users allows incidents to move from resolved to closed. Now, depending on the structure of your company, you will have multiple levels of service desks from L1, L2, developers, infrastructure engineers, and so on. The help desk is responsible for the quality intake. The main role is to create the incident record, capture the accurate impact and urgency, associate the incident with the correct CI or service where possible, search and apply knowledge articles, and route the incident to the correct resolver or group. So this role is quite critical because errors at intake can lead to incorrect priority, broken SLAs, longer resolution times, and implementing the ServiceNow framework, which is the CMDB and CSDM, reduces the reliance on guesswork, but providing the service and ownership in context. Now, the group manager ensures operational balance and accountability. The responsibility is to monitor workload within the assignment group, ensure incidents progress within the SLA, support reassignment and escalation, maintain alignment and service ownership. And from a CSDM perspective, this role ensures that defined ownership is enforced during execution. While the level 3 specialist, the resolver is responsible for deep technical execution, like investigating the cause of the incident, applying fixes or workarounds, documenting resolution details, and restore the affected CI or service. Because the resolvers depend heavily on CMDB accuracy. Good service modeling directly reduce diagnosis, triaging, and also the mean time to resolve. Now let's move to a demo so you can see the ServiceNow ITSM process or incident management process live in action. So let me switch from my PowerPoint slide, moving forward to the service operations workspace. Now let us create a new incident. And on this fictitious incident, let us say that there's an issue on sending an email using an app. So ServiceNow also provides a description, and the description normally comes from the end user or the client who reported this incident. And as you can see that as we populated the short description, it has given the ability of Agent Assist, which correlates knowledge articles relevant to the incident, which allows the service desk to be able to resolve the incident ticket and removing the guesswork, since it allows recording of an incident and documents it so future incidents can be resolved in a short period of time. So let us open this incident article, and you will see it will provide all the steps of this specific ticket. And now we can also look at similar incidents or open incidents that will help the service desk if there's any relevant incident ticket which is associated with the same problem. Pull down, the service desk can now also populate who the caller is, who's being impacted on this disruption. And as you move to the top right, the full life cycle is included out of the box, from a creation of a ticket, on hold if a ticket has been escalated to level 2 or a vendor, depending on your process. And then SLA will also be paused. And as we scroll down, you can look at the urgency and the impact of the ticket. And automatically, the platform provides auto calculation if a ticket is prioritized or not. So as the service desk triage the ticket and ensures the quality of the form, you can populate if the ticket was created through email, is it a software problem based on the different categories. Since this is an Outlook sending issue, then you can associate it to specific channel, which is software and email. And this is where the CMDB business services and technical services will now kick in, where the service desk can now associate it with the corresponding people who owns a specific service or the service, if escalated, is needed to be, and who is the correct support group, who has a degree of specialization on this specific service. Now, with the association of the CSDM, you can now confidently assign it to the correct group. And let us save this form, and you will see that the middle, ServiceNow has the ability to add additional comments. So you can speak directly to the client or add work notes, which is meant for internal use. So in a single one of class, you can add technical notes as you speak internally to your team and ask more information on what the end user is basically experiencing. And all of that can be seen a single point of class, both external and internal communication. And it makes it very powerful if multiple teams are working together, since it is a fully documented system. As we scroll down to the left, ServiceNow automatically creates a summary where it consolidates all the information, the impacted services, and the affected CIs. And this is where I and itil comes together, where it's embedded in the incident management process of ServiceNow, correlating the incident, the disruption, and the impacted service. And as we move to the related records, automatically task SLAs are created depending on the SLA and OLAs which are involved. Now, for reporting purposes, ServiceNow ITSM provides you a 360-degree view of how the case was approached from creating a ticket until it was resolved. And as we go back to the details, you will see the resolution code is also out of, and this code is based on ServiceNow best practices, which you can already use available for you out of the box. And as we move up and change the state to resolve, you will notice that the resolution code becomes mandatory, implementing integrity and best practices inside your incident record. And now let us say solution has been resolved, and let us save it. And now you can see that it's ensuring that we have provided the resolution notes. Now let us save this one. And now you will see that the ticket incident has been. After confirmation, the incident is closed and becomes part of the operational history. Since ServiceNow has made it intentionally simple, so it can be executed consistently, even under pressure. If you're finding value in this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and join as a member to further support free videos like this. But incident management does not succeed through workflow customization alone. It succeeds when it is anchored to a reliable service model. The best practice is to associate incidents with services and CIs, not just categories. Categories describes the issue type, while services describe the business impact. ServiceNow CSDM ensures ownership is defined before incidents occur. This allows assignment, escalation, and accountability to be inherited automatically. Incident intake should focus on service context. CMDB relationships allow the platform to understand real impact instead of relying on assumptions. On-hold states should reflect real dependencies, such as vendors, changes, or upstream services. This preserves SLA integrity and reporting accuracy. Resolution should confirm service restoration, not just technical completion. The discipline of closure is critical because closed incidents become your history or your operational truth for reporting KPIs and improving performance. What consistently stands out in real environments is that incident management issues rarely start at resolution. They start earlier when service context is missing, ownership is unclear, and intake is basically rushed. When your CMDB and CSDM are weak, teams are forced to compensate manually. That may work at small scale, and it does not scale under pressure. If I were designing incident management today, I would start with foundational data, CMDB quality, alignment to CSDM to ensure intake and assignment accuracy. Because when those foundations are right, the workflows will be implemented naturally. Incident management depends on a reliable service model. Without it, impact, priority, and escalation become a guesswork. CMDB is not a documentation. It is your doc to help you in runtime to make decisions that drives workflow behavior. And the Common Service Data Model, or the CSDM, embeds accountability before incidents occur. allowing teams to act decisively during disruption. Poor CMDB does not break service, it will break your decision quality and trust. So a service-aligned incidents reveal patterns that enable problem management and continuous improvement. In ServiceNow ITSM, service module is operational design. For more deep dives into ServiceNow ITSM, CMDB, and CSDM, I have added the link at the end of the screen. Subscribe to the channel and consider joining as a member. And now my question to you, how closely does your incident management process align with your CMDB and CSDM model? Where do you see the biggest gaps today? Is it in intake, ownership, or your service context? Let's discuss in the comments below, and I'm happy to reply.